The month is May, hooray, hooray, hooray. So go outside and play today because the month is May, yay! In the month of May, I'll show you my elephant made of clay. Good morning, super sparkly sapphires. Today is Friday, May 15th, 2020. It is the 157th day of school. Let's see how many days are left. Remember, each section starting with red is 5. 5, 10, 15 days of school left. Find a mindful position in 5, 4, 3, 2, wonderful. It's time for your daily pop quiz. Maps. Name one state in the middle, man. Calendars. What is it called when February has 29 days? Shapes. Which shape has 6 sides? Numbers. Write a single-digit number that is greater than 4. Reading. I'm going to spell a word and you should draw a picture of this thing on your paper. B-A-T. Spelling. How do you spell as? United States history. Did most people become rich in the gold rush? Money. How many dimes do you need to make $1? Writing. Where do you start when you're writing an uppercase M? Stuart Little. What type of plant did Margalo sleep in? Get ready to check your answers. Number 1, you could have said Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, or Louisiana for states in the middleman. Number 2 is leap day or leap year. Number 3, hexagon has 6 sides. Number 4, you could have said 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Number 5, you should have a picture of the animal bat or a baseball bat. Number 6 is spelled A-S, as. Number 7, no, most people did not get rich. Number 8, you would need 10 dimes. Number 9 is starting at the top. Number 10 is a Boston fern. Nice job on your quiz. Now it's time for a story. Fiction Friday, Stuart Little, Chapter 12, The Schoolroom. While Dr. Carey was making repairs on the car, Stuart went shopping. He decided that, since he was about to take a long motor trip, he should have the proper clothes. He went to a doll's shop where they had things which were just the right size for him and outfitted himself completely with new luggage, suits, shirts, and accessories. He charged everything and was well pleased with his purchases. That night, he slept at the doctor's apartment. Here he is looking at his new clothes in the mirror. The next morning, Stuart started early to avoid traffic. He thought it would be a good idea to get out on the road before there were too many cars and trucks. He drove through Central Park to 110th Street, then over to the West Side Highway, then north to the Sawmill River Parkway. The car ran beautifully, and although people were inclined to stare at him, Stuart didn't mind. He was very careful not to press the button, which had caused so much trouble the day before. He made up his mind that he would never use that button again. Just as the sun was coming up, Stuart saw a man seated in thought by the side of the road. He steered his car alongside, stopped, and put his head out. "You worried about something, aren't you?" asked Stuart. "Yes, I am," said the man, who was tall and mild. "Can I help you in any way?" asked Stuart in a friendly voice. The man shook his head. "It's an impossible situation, I guess," he replied. "You see, I'm the superintendent of schools in this town." "That's not an impossible situation," said Stuart. "It's bad, but not impossible." "Well," continued the man, "I've always got problems that I can't solve. Today, for instance, one of my teachers is sick. Miss Gunderson is her name. She teaches number 7 school. I've got to find a substitute for her, a teacher who will take her place." Here is a picture of the man on the side of the road. "What's the matter with her?" asked Stuart. "I don't know exactly. The doctor says she may have rhinestones," replied the superintendent. "Can't you find another teacher?" asked Stuart. "No, that's the trouble. There's nobody in this town who knows anything. No spare teachers, no anything. School is supposed to begin in an hour." "I will be glad to take Miss Gunderson's place for a day if you would like," suggested Stuart agreeably. The superintendent of schools looked up. "Really?" "Certainly," said Stuart, "glad to." He opened the door of the little car and stepped out. Walking around to the rear, he opened the baggage compartment and took out his suitcase. "If I'm to conduct a class in a schoolroom, I'd better take off these motoring togs and get into something more suitable," he said. Stuart climbed the bank, went into the bushes, and was back in a few minutes, wearing a pepper and salt jacket, old striped trousers, a Windsor tie, and spectacles. He folded his other clothes and packed them away in his suitcase. "Do you think you can maintain discipline?" asked the superintendent. "Of course I can," replied Stuart. "I'll make the work interesting, and the discipline will take care of itself. Don't worry about me." Here is Stuart in his new outfit. The man thanked him, and they shook hands. 9:15, the scholars had gathered in school number 7. When they missed Miss Gunderson and word got around that there would be a substitute, they were delighted. A substitute, somebody whispered to somebody else. A substitute, a substitute. The news traveled fast, and soon everyone in the schoolroom knew that they were all to have a rest from Miss Gunderson for at least a day, and were going to have the wonderful experience of being taught by a strange teacher whom nobody had seen before. Stuart arrived at 9. He parked his car briskly at the door of the school, stalked boldly into the room, found a yardstick leaning against Miss Gunderson's desk, and climbed hand over hand to the top. So he's on top of a yardstick, which is like a 3-foot ruler. There he found an inkwell, a pointer, some pens and pencils, a bottle of ink, some chalk, a bell, 2 hairpins, and 3 or 4 books in a pile.